So hello everyone, this is the Sports Show podcast, and today we're joined with Rhys McKee. How are you, mate?
I'm good, man. Good. Great to get a chat again with you. I love the t-shirt.
Yeah, of course. I have to represent as always. I'm sure I'll be wearing it on Friday
Absolutely.
night. But last episode we had on with you was in June, I'm pretty sure, just before your fight in Belfast, which was unbelievable. I'm near sure it was fight of the year, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was fight of the year for Cage Warriors. Yeah.
Yeah, madness. What a war. And for me to witness it there in the crowd with the atmosphere, everything about it was incredible. But we'll just get straight into it anyway. I can already get that out there. But how happy were you with your win on that night?
Man, great. It was so good, and to like do it in Belfast and you know the crack. You were there. Anybody that was there will just remember that forever. It's one of them. It's one of them moments like where people will look back in a few years and say, "Oh, fuck, where were you when you watched that fight?" And so if you were there, you're lucky. I was so happy, like to do that in Belfast, hometown. Win the title. And the way the fight went, it was just class. It was just perfect. Everything I wanted. So, it was good. But like you know what, there's no resting on it. We've got a big fight and a big title to defend here. So, as much as I'm happy, I'm going to be even happier after Saturday night.
Yeah, and personally after that fight, I thought that the UFC would have come calling just based on that performance purely because I think both you and Justin showed that you had the class and the skill to do it. Was that going through your head straight after the fight?
Look, I mean, like I thought it was possible for sure, and like my manager thought it was possible too, and if Justin won, I'm sure he would have thought it was possible. So, I mean, of course, it entered my mind, but like it didn't take too long before I was like, listen, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, like I'm very happy, go chill. So, I wasn't too bothered or too worked up. I wasn't like waiting by the phone or anything. So, but it was always an opportunity, or always could have came.
Yeah, and of course you were obviously cut in that fight and you had to recover with the many stitches you got, which was nuts. But then after that you were back training and then you got another injury. Am I right?
Yeah,
Madness.
correct. So I had like I got 29 stitches on like the forehead and under the eye, and then so I'm back sparring and I was sparring my headgear and stuff, and it wasn't great. And I think I was maybe back a bit early because in my head anytime I get hit, I checked it. And then I was sparring one day and I hurt my shoulder. So then that made me take time for the cut. So I was out for another 5 or 6 months, and by that time by 5 or 6 months later, the shoulder was healed and the cut was definitely healed. So it all kind of happened maybe for a reason. Sometimes the shoulder maybe slowed me down.
Yeah, and just as we mentioned before, you're fighting this Saturday on Cage Warriors in Dublin. How do you see this fight going against another UFC former fighter, Jimmy Wallhead?
Yeah, like I see the fight being the Rhys McKee show. Like I just see, me running my will on it. It's going to be a tough fight. There's going to be challenges. There's going to be things I have to overcome. Of course, it's a high level fight, and but that's fine. Like I'm prepared for that. A lot of people and a lot of fighters talk about, oh, it'll be this or this. It's like it's a fight at the end of the day. It's two men coming in clashing of heads, and they're trying to see who's the best. So if there was no adversity in that, then it wouldn't really be a fight. So I'm expecting everything, but at the end of the day, I will be leaving with my hand raised. Whether that's a quick fight, a long fight, who cares? I just want to be leaving with the win. And my training camp's been brutal from start to finish. I feel like I've got the hardest preparation I've probably ever had in my career. Not like hard as in bad things have happened. Hard as in the preparation has just been intense all the time. And yourself, you've seen it firsthand. So, like. I already have my first round done here, and Saturday night's round 2, 3, 4, and 5 is coming.
Yeah, and of course, UFC Cage Warriors Dublin. It's going to be unbelievable. I think you've seen in past events, and you've seen at Bellator. I'm pretty sure the atmosphere of the three arena is always unbelievable as well. But do you think after this fight here and a press performance put on, surely it has to be the UFC. There's no other option.
100%, 100%. Like, yeah, yeah. Like I can't. I don't even know what else to say. If we were sitting here talking a week after the fight and it still hadn't came, I'd be so confused. The performance that this is going to be the third win in a row coming out of the UFC. This is the UFC return, 100%.
Brilliant, mate. And of course, I just said there about the Fight Academy, the training you've been getting, the sparring. There's so many middleweights and welterweights up there that you're getting the rounds in with such high athletes or high top high athletes. I can barely talk today. Don't know what's happening, but you know what I'm saying anyway. The
100%.
prospect at Fight Academy is unbelievable at the minute, isn't it?
Like it's genuinely scary. Like like the amount of people, the amount of pros in the mats, and then the amount of people who are early pros in the mats, and then the amount of high level amateurs in the mats, then the beginning amateur. Like there's just this like wave of people coming through, and there's maybe 4 or 5 lines of them. So like the place is scary now, but what will it not be in 5, 6, 10 years? Like it's ridiculous. So for me to do, a training camp there, it's been unbelievable. It's so good, so good. And anybody that's trained with me over the last 15, 16 weeks, like this is the most I've ever improved in between a fight ever, like 100%. And of course, I'm not going to say I've got worse, but like genuinely, it's true. And I heard Leon Edwards and someone saying about. Apparently when you get the championship belt or something, when you get 30% automatically goes onto your arsenal, and that's what I feel. I just feel like I'm so much better than that last fight.
Yeah, and of course, there's three other Fight Academy Ireland fighters: Paddy McCorry, Ken McClurkin, and Ryan Curtis. What do you expect from them? And do you have any predictions for their fights? Because we know that they are three animals for a start.
Yeah, like I just can't see them losing any way possible. I just, it's like anything. I'm sure they're all tough fights, and I'm sure they'll be tested. But I just see them leaving winning. Like I can see that picture of us four standing after a successful night. Maybe outside the free arena, and just being like, of course, how else? How else would it have went? Do you know what I mean? Like the work we've put in, it's just there's nothing left to do but to do it now. Like we've all worked so hard. We've done absolutely everything we can, and now it's just time to get the result we deserve, which is a massive win and it all finishes.
Definitely, Rhys. Thank you very much, mate, for coming on. I wish you all the best for Saturday. It's going to
Pleasure,
be a great night anyway. Thank you very much, mate. Cheers.
Pleasure, mate. Thank you very much.
Thank you, mate. See you later.